And then Jalen Hurts has one more chance to get down the field for the Eagles, and he throws it, and it's 20 yards short, and just an amazing feeling. The Chiefs are once again Super Bowl champ. Hey, are you even listening to me?
What, you're talking?
Oh, dude, now I got to start all over again. Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to this very, very exciting, very special edition of the Trajan Temple Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler, and Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs fanatic, Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, who's been a very good sport through all of this too, the terrible towel-twirling Trajan. And it's all right, because next year, Steelers got Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. All my saltiness right now would be better.
Exactly. Well, the season's in the books. Season 2 of our show is in the books, and you know what? I really couldn't think of a better way to end it off.
I can think of a few.
I couldn't think of a better way, you know? The Chiefs are Super Bowl champions yet again. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
I am glad it's one of our teams, though.
Okay.
I mean,
I appreciate
doing this show, it's one of our teams winning.
Mm-hmm.
Could be mine, but, whatever.
I appreciate that. Now, probably first things first, probably some of you are wondering why the blank space behind me too. Where did all the stuff go? Well, as Trajan can attest to, I put pretty much the vast majority of my Chiefs memorabilia in the living room because we had ourselves a little Super Bowl party, a little shindig. Had a lot of my friends over. Trajan and his wife were so kind as to grace us with their presence on Super Bowl Sunday. It was very nice of you guys to show up and show your support for Kansas City in this matchup.
I only flipped you off once.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you may have worn a pair of white and green shoes. You know, just fashion statement for the day. I get it. I understand that too.
Sometimes you just put shoes on, you don't really think what you have on.
Absolutely. So yes, all of my Chief stuff is all in the living room right now. But this whole room that you see behind me for next year's show, there is going to be some changes. Not to the team. The team's going to stay the same. But yes, I will be redesigning this whole area in this room. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to. Especially the blinds and all that too. That still bothers me. The fact it's like
it is what it is.
Broken in half too, and this dresser. Morgan hates this dresser, by the way, more than I do. It holds my clothes just fine, but she says it looks terrible. It's falling apart, which it is, but it still holds my clothes. That's all I care about. Yeah, a lot of changes coming up for Season 3 of the Trajan Temple Sportcast, and we shall probably do a separate update video regarding exactly what changes we will be doing before the upcoming season. Obviously, we've got a few other videos planned. We will have more challenges to come during the off season. As we mentioned earlier, I am leading the challenges 2-1 right now, so Trajan's just chomping at the bit to get another opportunity to try to catch it. More drag race. Come on, we got to be more dynamic. Got to be more diverse with these challenges. You know what I mean? Like Top Golf. Spoiler alert. That's always fun. But the sole purpose of this episode today is to talk about the Super Bowl. And one last time for everyone in the kingdom to hear, within the sound of my voice, let's hear, Kingdom. How about those Chiefs? Super Bowl 57 champions. Final score 38-35. And man, just an absolutely phenomenal game from start to finish. It was so much fun to watch. Offenses, defenses, special teams, pretty much all phases of the game played a part in it too. Starting with the first quarter. Get it over here too. There we go. It's got it backwards. I was about to read the Harrison Butker field goal as first, but no, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. Chiefs win the coin toss and elect to defer, which gives the Eagles the ball first, the first quarter. Jalen Hurts in that offense, excellently done. Drove down the field, looked very impressive, and of course Jalen Hurts right up the middle for a 1-yard touchdown. Jake Elliott's point is good, 7-0. Only 4 minutes 51 seconds. A very clean and efficient drive for them too. And then the Chiefs get the ball right back, and Patrick Mahomes with a beautiful dime to Travis Kelce, who, by the way, now has surpassed Rob Gronkowski, number 2 most receiving touchdowns in Super Bowl history. My hat is off to Travis Kelce. Add just another accolade to the Hall of Fame career that he has had. But yeah, first quarter, pretty dead even so far.
Yeah.
All right, and then Eagles get the ball back. There was a couple instances there where the Chiefs should have gotten Jalen Hurts down on the defense. Had a chance to sack him, but Jalen Hurts very capable of moving on his feet, creating separation too. And got to give him credit for this one too. A beautiful throw and catch to A.J. Brown, 45 yards for the touchdown, and almost double coverage too. Trent McDuffie, great position, but that was just a perfect throw and perfect dime of a catch. He is him. He is him. Can only wonder why the Titans decide to let him go. I'm just not sure why.
Those draft picks, man.
Absolutely. Chiefs get the ball back and don't do anything with it. They are forced to punt, which leads to Jalen Hurts having a chance to go up by 2 scores. But then, probably the only big mistake Jalen Hurts made all game happened in the 9:39 mark of the second quarter. Jalen Hurts runs the QB option right up the middle. Nick Bolton's right there. Jalen Hurts tries to switch hands. The ball comes out. Nick Bolton right there for the pickup, takes it all the way from the 36-yard line. Touchdown, Kansas City. We got a tied ball game. And I think you even said yourself too, the momentum was really starting to shift after that play.
It felt like it was going to go the Eagles' way, and then all of a sudden that happened. And the Eagles still scored their touchdowns. Mm-hmm. They still got their points, but it very much reinvigorated your guys' team, I think.
Absolutely. Jalen Hurts, though, did not, credit to him, did not let them bother him, gets the ball back and goes down with 2:22 left in the first half, gets a touchdown. Chiefs have a chance to answer, but once again, the Eagles defense, one of the top 5 defenses in the league, and the team, by the way, that had the 3rd most sacks in NFL history coming into this game. Only the 85 Bears, and I forget what the other year, it was another Chicago Bears team, had more coming into the season. But the defense, although they did not get a single sack on Patrick Mahomes, did very, very well in the first half, giving Jalen Hurts another opportunity to get the ball back, drive down the field, and take it to halftime. Jake Elliott, 35-yard field goal with a 10-point lead. And Trajan can back me up on this. Right after the field goal was made, there was a funny little tidbit that I mentioned there too. The Eagles, my quote was, the Eagles just made the biggest mistake of their lives. They're up by 10 against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I might have been saying that in jest, just trying to be funny and, get the ha-ha and all that too. But at the same time, I really didn't think we were out of it. And there's really, there's been so many games where you're down by 2 scores, but when you've got Pat Mahomes, when you got Travis Kelce on your team, used to be also when you had Tyreek Hill on your team. But you know what? You've got Mahomes and Kelce. Apparently that's enough, because as you see, it wasn't over. It really wasn't.
No. And I didn't think they were out of the woods yet there, Philadelphia. They definitely had to really turn on the Jets, and they just didn't.
Nope, and that's honestly like I said, the Chiefs started early. They didn't wait till the fourth quarter this time. In the very first drive in the third quarter, they go down the field. Isaiah Pacheco with a 1-yard touchdown brings it within 3. Credit to the Chiefs defense. The Eagles were driving again, and it looked like they were going to probably get another touchdown, but they held them with just outside of the red zone, and then Jake Elliott gets another field goal, goes up by 6, and it's crazy because neither of these teams had trailed in the playoffs coming into this game. The Eagles, the first time they trailed in this game was when Pat Mahomes got the wide open touchdown to Kadarius Toney at 12:04 left in the game in the fourth quarter. Imagine going the entire playoffs and the first 3 quarters of the Super Bowl without trailing.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. But no, go ahead.
No, it was pretty crazy at that point. The house was going a little ruckus right then.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But yeah, on that particular play, the Kadarius Toney touchdown, I'm still trying to figure out what Darius Slay was thinking on that. Was he just anticipating that someone else was gonna get off of Kelsey and follow Toney? Because here's the deal: if the guy would have followed Toney, Kelsey would have been wide open. There was no one left.
It was going to one of them.
Absolutely.
Props to Toney to get his.
Yep, Kadarius Toney after what was it, 2 years with the New York Giants, he gets traded mid-season to the Kansas City Chiefs and gets a touchdown and also sets a Super Bowl record, the longest punt return in Super Bowl history. And you and I, when they said that on TV, you and I looked at each other, was like, "There's no way that's true, right?"
Yeah.
Sure enough, 65-yard punt return. If it would have been a 70-yard punt return, it would have been a touchdown. But still, impressive effort by Kadarius Toney in this game.
Now, can you let the audience know what you were saying during that punt return? I want everyone to hear this.
Okay, all right. Well, full context here. The Chiefs, and that's not really Kadarius Toney. He did it once, Sky Moore was notorious of muffing punts, and it seemed like it was infecting the whole team, where something, as far as punts would go, something horrible would happen, and the ball would go back to the other team. And yes, when Kadarius Toney caught it, and also it was the way he caught it too, like usually you catch the ball like that, but no, he caught it like out here and brought it into his body, and took like 5 yards upfield, and I told him, get down, because I couldn't tell if he was still trying to secure the ball, and I didn't want, just one punch and the ball comes out and all too. I said, get down. But, and actually, great blocking by the special teams of Kansas City. You kind of got to put some of the credit to the field too, because boy, the Eagles players were just sliding on by. That field was atrocious in this game. It was so bad. But yes, Kadarius Toney, huge punt return, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line, which leads to Patrick Mahomes' short pass, pretty much the exact same play, just the opposite side of the field, to Sky Moore, his first touchdown of the year, and could not have come at a better time. Just imagine that. You're a rookie, you haven't got a touchdown all year, and you get your first touchdown in the Super Bowl. And, it almost became the game-winning touchdown ultimately, which obviously that was not the case, but yes, it was the touchdown that put them up by 8 points. Shout out, Sky Moore for that one. Hopefully he's got that football sitting on his mantle at home now. But, once again, Jalen Hurts. He as you said, he is him. He did a hell of a job driving down the field, 75 yards, 8 plays, 4-minute drive, and not only that, runs it in for the 2-point conversion. He's going to do it himself. Come hell or high water, he's going to drag this team kicking and screaming to a Super Bowl victory. And excellently done by the Philly offense there.
Oh yeah. At this point, I could see you getting really nervous.
Oh, especially after that Devontae Smith catch leading up to the touchdown, too. When he was that wide open, I was like, oh, God, oh, no.
Now, the critique on that drive though is it took 4 minutes to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They really needed like 2 minutes for a drive for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
They should have hurried up on it.
They really should have, because now they've left 5 minutes. Chance for Mahomes to take as much clock as he possibly can on the way down the field, which ultimately was the case. Driving down the field, including a 25-yard run by Pat Mahomes, who had, going into halftime, retweaked that ankle. I was waiting for that. But yeah, putting the team on his back in that critical moment, getting a first down, getting him in field goal range, and then yes, we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up the controversial call on 3rd and 8 after that run by Mahomes. Textbook wise, it was a hold. The rule states it was a hold, and the refs they made some other calls in this game that were kind of that really could have gone other way too. I see the point that it's the Super Bowl. You should really let them play too, but at the same time, even Bradbury admitted he was in the wrong on that one. He was just hoping to let it slide. And honestly, and I talked to you about this earlier too, that play was very similar to the other two where they scored touchdowns. So pretty sure it's like, I'm not letting this one go. I'm going to make sure that I stay with my man this time and no one gets open. And that's the way it rolled out. The flag was thrown. The Chiefs get an opportunity to shave off more time on the clock, and that's exactly what they did.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Big time shout out real quick to Jerick McKinnon though, because after that call, the Eagles defense, they were more than happy to just let McKinnon waltz into the end zone.
Yeah.
And McKinnon had an opportunity to have his name in the history books forevermore. He would have Jerick McKinnon Super Bowl touchdown in his stat line, but that's the veteran move by Jerick McKinnon. Slides at the 2-yard line, gives the Chiefs an opportunity to run more time off the clock and make it that much tougher for the Eagles there. What were your thoughts as far as seeing him slide at the goal line there?
For a pure production standpoint, it would have been funner if he scored. But I don't know. It's the right call to make. I guess, yeah. I don't know. You're at that age, maybe you want a contract. Maybe you go in. I mean, he did ultimately what was best for the team, but stat-wise, he probably should have ran it in.
You know what, though? I think teams would look at that and then realize, like, this guy's a smart player, and he's a team player too. I think ultimately that means more than scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl. But yes, yeah. Absolutely selfless play by Jerick McKinnon, which leads to Harrison Butker 27-yard game-winning field goal. I was nervous because the spot where Townsend would hold the ball was right on that logo that was painted on the field that a lot of people were slipping and falling on. So I was just like, ooh, please get your footing right just this one time, especially after he doinked it earlier in the game. But tried and true, right down the middle. Chiefs take the lead up by 3 with 8 seconds left. Squib kick by Butker. And like I said, there was the Hail Mary attempt by Jalen Hurts, which, everyone knows that he had some issues with his throwing arm. So relying on him to throw it, 80 yards down the field as time expires, that was probably asking a lot out of Jalen. But
what I would have done in that, 8 seconds, it's a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to go into prevent, streak all those people down, then have someone go out into the flats, run out of bounds, pick up 10 yards so it's at least a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, because at that point, the kickoff was at 8 seconds. The guy ran 10 yards and then kneeled it, so 6 seconds left. Yeah, if you can get a quick out in the 5 seconds there too, then why not, right?
And then you're in field goal range. If you picked up enough and still had time on the clock, maybe send out your kicker. Maybe that's a better chance.
That's a long field goal, but at that point, what do you got to lose, right?
You got to lose. Yeah, I mean, you got to kick a quarterback who's injured, and so I don't know.
So, but yep, that is how it ended, and God, it was so cool seeing the Kelsey brothers embrace in middle of the field. Obviously, joy and elation for one, and disappointment and sadness for the other. But it was it was cool. Obviously, the nickname, the Kelsey Bowl, too. Seeing their parents, get to see their sons play. It was pretty special moment for both of them. And yep, listening to their New Heights podcast this morning too, you can tell how special a moment, especially when they talked about how happy they were seeing their mom out there too. Brought some emotion to both of them too. That was a pretty cool story in this year's Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely made it a lot interesting storyline. I mean, it was a good Super Bowl. I mean, I cannot deny that. It was a really good Super Bowl.
Absolutely. And you know what? Give credit where credit's due. If the Eagles did win the Super Bowl, MVP all day long would be Jalen Hurts. All day long. Because, let's see here, 27 out of 38, 300 yards, or 304 yards, 1 passing touchdown, but 3 rushing touchdowns. I'm surprised that wasn't an NFL record for quarterbacks.
I am too. I don't really like who the MVP went to though. I get it. He had 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. One of them, I mean, I could have thrown it in for a touchdown.
I think 2 of them you could have thrown in for a touchdown pretty easily.
I mean, but I really say it goes to certain members of the defense. I would still say Bolton probably deserves that with a return touchdown there.
I would agree with you. And you know what? And you and I have debated this one too, and whether it was a catch, whether it wasn't a catch, if that would have stood, if the ruling on the field would have stood the second time that Nick Bolton ran the ball in for a touchdown all day long, then it would be the biggest travesty in the world if Mahomes still won MVP after that. Nick Bolton would have been head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, as you mentioned, Mahomes 21 of 27. He only had 1 incomplete pass in the second half. So very impressive performance nonetheless. Isaiah Pacheco, 15 attempts, 76 yards, including a rushing touchdown. Imagine that. You're a 7th round draft pick out of Rutgers, and you score a touchdown in the Super Bowl at running back position. And you take over the number 1 spot at running back, and you get a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Absolutely incredible.
Which I will call him out for this. Really, you won the Super Bowl, you're at the Super Bowl party, and you're wearing your Rutgers gear? I mean, you couldn't be wearing... yeah, I watched.
You got to represent, man. You got to represent.
You got to represent the team that you just won the Super Bowl with. Okay.
As far as receiving, Travis Kelce, 6 receptions, 81 yards, including a touchdown. Juju with some key receptions in the Super Bowl. So very happy for him. 7 receptions, 53 yards. TikTok boy, absolutely. TikTok boy / Super Bowl champ. Justin Watson, a couple catches. McKinnon, some good catches too. But yeah, Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney both getting their touchdowns, receiving probably the 2 easiest plays, most wide open they'll ever be in their entire careers, I'll bet.
Yeah.
As far as the defense, as we mentioned, Colin Saunders with a sack, Leo Chenal with a sack, and then obviously the most important play, Nick Bolton with the strip sack and returned for a touchdown. So hats off to him. Absolutely dominant performance by him today. He didn't really. He had the most tackles in this game too.
Yeah.
So, get back over to the. Actually, little cool side note for the Chiefs offensive line, and it was kind of cool. Some of them were wearing this T-shirt during the Chiefs parade. No sacks allowed in the Super Bowl against the team that it was the third highest in NFL history with the most amount of sacks this year. So absolutely incredible effort by the offensive line.
To be fair, they played our offensive line this year, so I mean, they kind of padded their stat book.
And they had quite the easy schedule too this year, didn't they? No, nah, that's I wouldn't say that. You still got to play the games. Devontae Smith with a 100-yard receiving game. A.J. Brown with a near 100-yard receiving game. Dallas Goedert with some incredible catches in this game, including the one where I really thought that should have been incomplete, but he had the two hands on it. He had 2 feet down in bounds, so, good on him. Travis Kelce even gave him his props during the podcast, saying he doesn't understand how Dallas doesn't get more opportunities in that offense. But then again, you've got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, and you've got that backfield. So when you've got a full staff like that, you can usually do pretty good things. Don't necessarily need to ride your tight end the whole time.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, real quick, I've got a list of some names here for you. Okay. If you'll indulge me here for a second.
I'll indulge you.
Yep. All right. So here's some of these names here too. So Justin Reed. There's a name, right? Kadarius Toney. Okay. Justin Watson. There was some more. Melvin Gordon, who did not play, and Carlos Dunlap.
Yes.
And finally, Juju Smith-Schuster. These are all off-season acquisitions that Brett Veach made to make this team a Super Bowl champ. And there are also 11 rookies, and I will totally miss one here too, but you've got Sky Moore, Isaiah Pacheco. You've got, where is he at? Trent McDuffie. You've got Jalen Watson. You've got Leo Chanel. You've got Brian Cook. You've got Joshua Williams. You've got all of these rookies. This was supposed to be the retooling year for Kansas City.
There was a lot of people that were still saying you're going to the Super Bowl.
This was supposed to be the rebuilding year. This was the year that the AFC West was going to be controlled by somebody else. It was going to be let's ride Russell Wilson. It was going to be Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. They were going to be the ones. This was going to be Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert's coming out party. The Chiefs weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. This was...
This is where you're kind of misconstruing it. This is going to be your hardest year. Because they're getting players that would actually be a challenge because you have a weak division. And you're not used to that. I get it. And, you took it as you're not a favorite anymore. There's people that were saying that you're not favorites just to get their time, but there was plenty of people still saying that Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid's going to find a way to be in the championship. Everyone was saying it's going to be the championship between the Chiefs and the Bengals or the Chiefs and the Bills. So don't give me this bullshit. We were underdogs this whole year. Oh, yeah.
I was
the only ones that can truly say that underdog. Maybe the Bengals because they started out really rough, but they still had that team.
Oh, man.
Really, Eagles have more of an underdog story than you have.
I was wondering what was going to get more under your skin, me going into that rant or me talking about the Super Bowl. I got my answer and it was worth it.
You did.
But no one believed in us.
No one believed. To be fair, you could say you didn't believe in us. You can say that to me because I did not believe in you guys.
There we go.
But it was more of like, I hope you fail.
Mm.
Really do. Just like this next year, you're going to be 6-11.
Ah, there it is. Your prediction was just a year early. I understand.
Year early.
It's still a prediction if it happens a little later, right? Still counts.
Yeah.
doesn't doesn't have to be an immediate prediction, right? No, but still, huge credit to the Chiefs front office for finding the pieces they needed to make this team yet again another championship team. So, like I said, there were some questions. What are we going to do about Tyrann Mathieu after he goes? Who's going to replace him? He goes out and gets Justin Reed. What are we going to do about Tyreek Hill? He goes out and gets MVS. He goes out and gets, which actually that's the name I forgot, MVS, and he gets Juju Smith-Schuster. So, those are two guys that it's hard to replace, but when you've got a front office, when you got a staff, and you got a coach like Andy Reid, and you have a quarterback like Pat Mahomes, then you can almost put anyone there that it's semi decently good, and you saw the result. They took him to the promised land yet again. So hats off to that front office, and boy, am I excited for this year's draft, because we got 12 draft picks coming up, and if Veach hit on as many as he did last year, he doesn't even have to hit like all 12. He could hit like maybe 6 of these upcoming draft picks, and we're set for a little bit of while here too. So very very exciting time in the Chiefs kingdom here too. You want to win it all every year. And hey, if they keep building like that, there's a good possibility they do win it all again next year. But that's then. This is now, and right now, I am gonna take all the time I want to celebrate this and enjoy this. And yeah, just what a year it's been.
I got one thing to add.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's just this notion of you always living in the past. Quite some time ago, obviously. I mean, what have you done lately? And that's what I want to know. Let's see what you're gonna do now. Stop living in the past.
All right. My 3 days of celebration are over. Now we gotta look towards it.
Get back to work.
Veach and Andy Reid, they're going right back to work. The parade was today. They're going to be back in the office tomorrow working on next season, which is why I love them. I love them so much. They always look towards the future. Which allows me to revel in the past. So there we go. They're doing the hard lifting for me. I just got to sit back and relax and enjoy the view.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we will be having a full update on where Season 3 is going to go. You will see a video of our adventures in Kansas City at the draft in April. I am super excited about that, and I know Trajan is as well, too. Any final thoughts from the end of the postseason, the end of the 2022 NFL season?
Congratulations on the Super Bowl win.
Thank you.
Glad you're at least half of the Steelers now. And it's go time. It's time to go to work. That's all I'm thinking. Let's see what Kenny Pickett can do. Let's see what we can put around him this year as far as an offensive line, and we'll see how good George Pickens can be.
It'd be nice to see another team out of the AFC North besides the Bengals in the playoffs next year. I'll just say that. So
we're gonna have to face this all next year.
Yep. But yes, this is the final episode of the Trajan Temple Sportcast Season 2, and we want to thank you, each and every single one of you, for sticking around with us the entire season here too, through the ups, the downs, the highs and lows, the funny moments, and the boo-boo, sad moments we all had to endure. Like me having to deal with the fact that Jalen Hurts was hurt, and I lost the playoffs for the fantasy football league. That was probably my most down moment this year.
Yeah, you were undefeated for the longest time too.
I was.
You were a surefire guy to win your first fantasy championship.
Yeah, how much you bet AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts don't aren't as cheap as they were this year next year's draft?
My brother and I, as commissioners, have already met, and we're making sure it's harder than ever for you to get anywhere in this next year. Look forward to that.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Well, and we look forward to season 3 with every single one of you guys. But leave a comment down below. What was your favorite moment of this year's NFL season? We would love to hear from you all, and we're excited to see what season 3 brings us next year. But on that note, thank you everybody so much for joining us this season. Click like on this video if you liked it. Click subscribe if you really enjoyed us, and if you're ready for next year, we are definitely ready to bring you some more content here in the next few months. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time.